Science, Faith, and Morality. The Big Questions. B1 Level Listening Text. Introduction. The Human Search for Meaning. Welcome to this audio story. Since the beginning of time, human beings have looked at the stars and asked difficult questions. How was the universe created? What is right and what is wrong? What happens after we die? To answer these questions, humanity created two major paths, science and religion. Sometimes these paths walk together, and sometimes they fight. Today, we are going to explore the big questions. Do we need religion to be good? What is the difference between knowing and believing? And what does a famous, strange phrase about faith really mean? Part 1. Science versus religion. Two different windows. Many people think that science and religion are permanent enemies, but it is better to understand them as two different windows looking at the same world. Science asks how? It uses experiments, data, and logic. If you want to know how a flower grows, how electricity works, or how the planets move, you ask science. Science only accepts things that can be tested and proven. Religion, on the other hand, asks why. It deals with meaning, purpose, and values. Science can explain how a nuclear bomb works, but science cannot tell us if it is morally right or wrong to use it. That is where religion and philosophy come in. They give people a moral compass and a sense of ultimate purpose in a massive universe. Part 2. Do we need religion for morality? One of the biggest debates in philosophy is this. Is religion necessary for morality? Can a person be truly good without believing in a God? Many religious thinkers argue that without God, there is no objective ultimate rule for right and wrong. They believe that regular laws can change, but divine rules are permanent. For them, religion gives people a strong reason to be honest, kind, and fair, even when no one else is watching, because God sees everything. However, many modern philosophers disagree. They argue that morality comes from human empathy and reason, not just divine fear or reward. They believe that humans are social creatures. We know that hurting others hurts a community. Secular morality says, I do not steal because I know it causes pain to another human being, not just because I am afraid of going to hell. Therefore, history shows that both religious and non-religious people can be incredibly good or terribly cruel. Part 3. Knowing versus believing. What is the exact difference between knowing something and believing something? It all comes down to evidence. Knowing is active and objective. You know that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius because you can test it and see it happen every single time. Knowledge changes when new facts are discovered. If a scientist finds a better explanation with better evidence, old knowledge is replaced. Believing, or faith, is personal and subjective. You believe in a higher power, or in life after death, because you feel it deep inside your heart, not because you have a laboratory report to prove it. Faith does not ask for physical proof. In fact, if you have 100% physical proof of something, you don't need faith anymore, because then you just know it. Part 4. I believe because it is absurd. Finally, let's look at a famous, mysterious phrase from history, credo qui absurdum. In English, this means, I believe because it is absurd, or I believe because it is impossible. This phrase comes from an ancient Christian thinker named Tertullian. At first, it sounds completely crazy. Why would anyone believe something because it is absurd? Tertullian was trying to explain the ultimate nature of true faith. He argued that if a religious miracle was perfectly logical and easy to understand for the human mind, it wouldn't be a divine miracle at all. It would just be normal science. For him, the fact that a religious event seemed completely impossible to human logic is proof that it belongs to a higher, divine reality that sits above human intelligence. It means that true faith begins exactly where human logic ends. Conclusion: the balance of mind and heart. Ultimately, the debate between science and religion, or knowing and believing, is not about choosing one and destroying the other. A world with only science but no morality or philosophy can become cold, technical, and dangerous. A world with only blind belief but no science can become superstitious, ignorant, and stuck in the past. The human journey needs both the brain and the heart. We need science to understand the physical mechanics of our shaky planet, and we need morality and reflection to live together in peace, justice, and mutual respect.